Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Uh, Excuse me. Notice is hereby given that a regular meeting of the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks, Texas is being held today, Thursday, July 14th, 2022 at 6:30 p.m. at City Hall, 22870 Priest Road, Sandy Oaks, Texas. All agenda items are subject to action. The public will be permitted to offer public comments in person, telephonically, or by video as provided by the agenda and permitted by the presiding officer during the meeting by signing up with the city secretary at least 15 minutes in advance of the meeting, if providing comments in person, and at least 2 hours in advance of the meeting by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com or by calling 210-607-0834 if speaking telephonically or by video. Written comments may be submitted to the city secretary up to 2 hours before the meeting by emailing cityclerk@cityofsandyoaks.com and will be provided to the city council for their consideration. A recording of the public telephonic meeting will be made and will be available to the public in accordance with the Texas Public Information Act upon written request. We are in session at 6:30. Madam Secretary, may I have a quorum call?
Yes, sir. Mayor Pro Tem Martinez,
Present.
Alderwoman Martinez.
Here.
Alderwoman Alvarado. Here. Alderman Bertino,
Here.
Alderman Hamilton Duffer.
Here.
You have a quorum. Oh, and we do have our city attorney. on the sheet.
Thank you, ma'am. I ask all rise and join with me to the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. Well, Madam Secretary, do we have any citizens to be heard?
No, sir, we do.
Okay, thank you very much. We have a special guest tonight. Our dear County Commissioner Rebecca Clay Flores has joined us. Commissioner, would you like to say a few words?
Sure.
Thank you.
Do I do that from here or I don't know how this works?
Uh,
I'm not the techie person in my office.
Okay,
Or
we,
do you want me to
Wanna do it
stand?
on camera? You can come up.
Oh, okay. Well, I don't want to give you guys my
I don't
time.
know what's happening with it right now.
what's happening with your camera, sir? We're spinning circles.
You know, it's a 360 view.
Driving out here is a little scary.
3D.
There's a storm coming and there was like all this like sand. I know it's Sandy Oaks and there's like all these sand guns and I was praying. Thank God for my faith. So I don't know if that's what's going on with the,
Probably being interfered with by the storm right now.
I think we're good.
but do I get started?
You go ahead, we're good.
Okay. Well, I just wanted to, I have a really large precinct, so from Sandy Oaks all the way up to Alamo Ranch, so I'm not able to be out here as much as I'd like. But when I'm able to, I want to just make sure I come and you know my face. And Art Martinez Zavada, I think a lot of you know him. He is on my staff. He lives in Von Army. And so if there's anything we can do for y'all, I think most of you have our office number. That we've worked with you guys on some different projects and stuff. So usually I can take questions if there's questions you guys have, or I can talk to you a little bit about some of the things we've recently passed at Commissioner's Court. But that's pretty much it. Just wanted to come and bring greetings from Bear County.
Well, you're more than welcome,
So-
ma'am. And I have my vote for Becky
There you go. Keep that. Thank you.
election sign in a place of prominence in my home.
Thank you. So we are working hard. We're in office every day since day one, all day. So, and into the evening. So, whatever we can do to serve you guys. We did redistrict in the fall and I made sure I kept Sandy Oaks. It's on the border. I was like, I gotta keep Sandy Oaks in there. So, but I can just share with you guys a little bit, a couple of things that we've passed over the last few months, Commissioner's Court, because some of your constituents might have questions about that. So a couple things that are really of good interest for you all. we did pass a property tax exemption for Bear County Hospital District, which is a big deal because UHS doesn't give many exemptions. So this is only for those of you who are over 65, and it's for $30,000, which is a big help because that adds up with all the other things. And just to be clear, this is, well, here's another one we passed. We also passed residence homestead exemption for all homeowners for 20% of the appraised value. But just to be clear, because sometimes we get calls into my office, people complaining about their property taxes. Unfortunately, that's not under the county. Bear County Appraisal District is a totally separate organization. And actually Commissioner Sport, we only have one appointee, unfortunately. But in order to get that, you do have to call BCAD and apply for that to make sure you get that exemption. So that's something you probably want to push out to your constituents. So you can go to bcad.org or you can give them a call. Something I'm really excited about, hope you've already heard about it. We passed it last year, but UHS is finally going to be building a hospital on the south side of Texas A&M. Because I mean, I was like trying to organize something on my calendar for next week and I have a doctor's appointment all the way to medical center. So it'd be great, you know, you can just go by Texas A&M. It's going to be right next to Texas A&M. And in addition, we also passed $30 million for public health. So we're going to be building a new public health division building next to a hospital also at A&M. So that public health, so all the issues that happened with COVID, we can be more focused on people out in the county and people in the south side that have really been focused. So I'm excited about that. Y'all can say amen if you want.
Where they
Excuse
want
me?
to put the hospital at?
Across from A&M. So you know where A&M is here on the south
Yeah.
side. So across from that, a developer bought some of that land and they're going to be supposed to be retail and different multi apartments and homes and stuff like that. And then on the western edge,
Mhm.
that's where we're going to build a hospital.
Is it going
As
to
you
be
enter into A&M.
a general hospital and a teaching hospital or just a?
So it's going to be a hospital like UHS, but part of the reason to build right next to A&M is so that it can be a partnership with A&M so that we can have residents and yes, so hopefully it will grow into a teaching hospital.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're really excited about that partnership. Yeah. How many of you had not heard of the hospital being built in Southside yet? Yeah. Okay, all right. Well, that's why I come to bring you good news. Okay. Couple other things. We passed $1 million to support countywide outreach and education efforts on gun ownership and safety. Also passed $14.8 million for mental health and violence prevention programs, which includes trauma and de-escalation, expansion of acuity and urgent beds. So basically, people who have really high mental health issues, and a lot of times people are, I say, just really rotting in jail. And so we want to make sure that jails are for people who need to be in jails and people who have severe issues that we're able to push them into diversion programs. So that's something that's really important, something I fight a lot for. Also passed $20 million for funding for school-based mental health services. So this is something that's really important to me. My background's in education. I'm a big advocate for mental health. So this is to help to put more social workers and therapists in our schools so that we can start dealing with issues at a younger age. So San Diego feeds into Southside High School, right? So obviously, if your kids are out Southside, your constituents' kids are out Southside High School, and a lot of our services are where? North side. And with gas prices, it's really hard to go up there. If you're a single mom, if you have an hourly job, and it's really hard to take off time, drive all the way out there, drive back. So it's really important for us to have therapists in the schools so that during the school hours, they can go and know that they have a safe place. There's also going to be family therapy, group therapy, things like that.
When is that planning on taking effect?
So I'm pushing, I've been pushing for this money. And so 4.75 million, I have given direct instruction that needs to happen in the next school year because time keeps going on and on. And so I pushed for this and it was initially started in precinct 1. So the $4.75 million needs to go this school year, this coming school year into precinct 1. And then the rest of the 60 million is to expand it countywide.
Okay.
So that is the thing that I'm
You're pushing
Yelling.
to start this school year.
yelling about. Yes.
Okay.
Yes. And some of it has already started. So it started as a pilot program a couple years ago. It started at South San. And I pushed for a lot more money so we can expand to other schools. Yeah, so I think those are the main things. I can go on and talk a lot, but I want to take, I know you guys have serious business, so. Any questions?
Yes,
Yes.
going back to the homestead exemption, you said they have to go out and apply for it.
Everything
it-
has to go through BCAD.
But is it a, on top of your normal homestead exemption?
So the county didn't have a homestead exemption before, so it
Okay.
depends what,
So if I have a homestead exemption on my house currently, I still need to call the county.
so I don't know who you, so different organizations do different homestead exemptions. And so the way to get the most money is a little bit from each one. So I don't know who you have a homestead exemption
Through Bear County.
from. So we just passed
Yeah.
20,
Okay,
yes, just call BCAD because
Just
they
call
would know. Check to make sure you have what homes got homestead exemptions. And for the new one that was passed by Commissioner's Court this year for 20%.
okay. So just,
Not
Call and
20%,
check.
20,
I
maybe
have
I'll give you back
seen-
numbers. Yeah, 20% of your appraised value.
I have seen some of those being applied automatically on different properties, so.
I just don't want to come up here and say it's gonna be an automatic
Right.
application and not because we don't control BCAD. So I'd rather you go to BCAD. You can go to bcad.org, put in your address, or you can call them to make sure you have. Because no one's trying to turn down money, right?
Yeah.
So to make sure you have everything that you deserve.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Thank you very
Thank you.
Always a pleasure to see you.
You all too. Always good to be here.
I don't see why it's not
I don't know.
showing the video.
So my question would be this. And I didn't ask her because she said she doesn't deal with that homestead exemption. About what we just passed here in the city. Is that on top of what the county does?
Yes,
Yes.
Also, ours is Sandy Oaks.
Sandy Oaks, y'all just passed one?
Okay.
Okay.
That'd be for residents.
I will address that since I get to do the mayoral announcements next.
You are the person.
Each taxing entity
Mhm.
has options to adopt exemptions or not. So the county previously did not have a homestead exemption. This year, they adopted one. The school district exemption used to be $25,000. The legislators, God bless them this year, increased that to $40,000. Our increased exemptions this year have been turned into BCAD, and they, the last report that I got from BCAD last Friday showed that they had put the exemptions into the tax roll for Sandy Oaks. So, but I don't know about the hospital district and others. What I have seen though is the exemptions that passed are being folded into the existing tax roll. And my next announcement is elections in November, but applications for a position on the ballot will open July 23rd and close August 22nd. I'm going to file on July 23rd. So those are the big announcements. Am I missing anything, Ms. Catherine?
Applications on the website.
Well, the applications on the website.
When I was reading through that, it requires a notary. Are we gonna have a notary here?
I'll notarize anybody who wants to be notarized.
Gonna be here on the 23rd?
I should be,
Oh, you
I
can
should be notarized.
call me.
I look forward to it.
Our city secretary should have her notary by then.
Okay.
She's
23rd Saturday.
working on that.
And if she doesn't, I'll do it for you.
Okay, well, I was expecting a guest tonight to talk about some property development, but I do not see him on the screen, so we will skip agenda item number 4. I've taken care of number 5. Okay, agenda item number 6, consent agenda. All matters listed on the consent agenda are considered routine by the City Council of the City of Sandy Oaks and will be enacted by one motion. There will not be separate discussion of these items. If discussion is desired, that item will be removed from the consent agenda and considered separately. We have 3 items: approved minutes from June 14th, special city council meeting, approved minutes from June 23rd, regular city council meeting, and approved July 2022 invoice number 3 from Success Engineering not to exceed $4,374.80. Does anyone want
I'll
to?
make a motion to approve if there is no further discussion on this, I'll move that we accept the consent agenda as described.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino
I'll
to,
second the motion.
and to to approve the consent agenda, and a second from Alderman Coffindapper to approve the consent agenda. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries unanimously. Agenda item number 7, financial report. Income and expenses for June 2022 will be reported by City Secretary Catherine Yelton with possible discussion and or action. Ms. Yelton, you have the floor.
So from our general fund, the beginning balance as of June 1st, 2022 was $328,259.81. We had checks and payments of $121,378.80. Deposits and or credits of $44,885.85. Leaving an ending balance as of June 30th, 2022 of $251,766.86. And further. When I finally got the budget. The expenses compared to the annual budget. So for the ARPA funds, the beginning balance as of June 1st was $519,034.54. We did have some payments for a thermal printer for the new Explorer, the police department Explorer, and paying the exercise equipment in the park. So those payments totaled $46,596.01, leaving an ending balance as of June 30th of $472,438.53. And then going on to the bond account. So
Do you have-
go ahead.
Excuse me, you have page numbers on that?
15 is the next
Okay.
one, I'm sorry.
13 was the.
13 was the last, and then
Okay.
15. Ready?
Mhm.
So as of June 1st, our bond account was at $664,101.83. And deposit of interest of $27.10, leaving an ending balance as of June 30th of $664,128.96. And then the rest is just the credit card reconciliation and our pilot fleet card. And we did start, I have another account with QT because the pumps at Pilot were acting up. It was only allowing like $2 per transaction. So I applied for QT cards, so they will have a QT account as well, and I'll supply that reconciliation. And that should have been it unless you have questions.
Okay, thank you very much. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll move that we accept the financial report as reported.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to accept the financial report as presented.
I'll second.
I have a second from Alderwoman Martinez. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries unanimously, ma'am. Agenda item 8, investment report. Received brief from Alderman Rapino on quarterly investment report with possible discussion and or action. You have the floor, Alderman Rapino.
Okay, I'll report the investment report in text pool for the period of 4/1/22 through 6/30/22. Since the Fed raised the interest rate, we made a little money this time. The beginning amount was $127,716.54. And we wound up with $127,921.21 for an earning of $204.67. And I haven't computed how much inflation ate that up, but it's a lot better than the $1 something we were making in the previous quarters. But at least we're showing some earnings here.
We're not losing. I like that.
Yeah, we never lost the tax pool since we started this. But I wouldn't advise investing anything else until this inflationary period. At least not in fiat funds.
Yeah.
If we could buy some property, that might be a good deal. But anyhow, that's the report.
Okay. I'll entertain a motion.
I'll make a motion that we accept the report as read and given.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Coffindaffer to accept the report as presented.
I'll second.
And Alderman Rapino seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries unanimously. Agenda item number 9, Police Department. Agenda item A, update to the announcements from Chief Lopez with possible discussion or action. You have the floor, Chief.
Thank you, Mayor. Good evening, council, men and women. Just a real quick update. So as you hear, we had Chase here in Sandy Oaks. Elmendorf had a pursuit evading. That suspect was apprehended by Elmendorf, Sandy Oaks, and Burke County as well. Also, we had a suspect had 4 felonies. Joshua Gonzalez. Report came out that he was back at the residence back here in Sandy Oaks, had 4 felony warrants. He was apprehended as well, but no issues by Sandy Oaks Police Department on that as well. So bits and pieces as things come in with the city, we'll put that out as well.
Okay, agenda item B, presentation of monthly report by Chief Lopez with possible discussion and or action.
So on the monthly report for June, starting at the top, we had 51 court defendants for court. We had 105 cases. Going down to traffic stops, so we initiated 75 traffic stops. 112 citations were issued, along with 20 warnings. Calls for service, I believe we had 57 calls for service here in the city. Myself, I had 4 reports. Corporal Castillo had 6, and Officer Maldonado had 47 reports. The reason his number is so high is because he's in training.
He's working.
And he's the lucky one that gets to take all the reports. So, which is always good training. So take a little break for Corporal Castillo from his normal duties. So we had 9 arrests for the month of June, going down to assist other law enforcement agency. We had 2 Burke County assist Burke County fire. There's 1, 2 EMS assist. We had 3 911 hangups, calls for service. We also had going all the way down. We had an attempt to locate. Was 1 call for service, 1 burglary of a residence, 4 civil matters. And we can change to the back page. Going down to city ordinance violations, garbage. We had 1 call for service on that as well. Also had a CLD for recreational vehicles was 1, CLD dogs, horses, animals was 2 calls for service, 2 damaged properties, 1 report for disturbance family report, 1 noise disturbance, 1 disturbance shots heard, one emergency detention, one COV livestock animals, one fire structure. We actually had 5 during the city during that time. One call for service for harassment, verbal telephone, 3 information calls, 3 narcotics laws, 2 reckless driver reports. Looking at the third page, we had 1 sex offense, 2 thefts, 1 unlawful carry, and 3 welfare checks. Other page, as I said before, we had 9 arrests. We had 5 SAPD traffic warrants arrests. Starting at the top, we had carry, going down to a fill violation, resisting arrest, evading, and we also had Joshua Gonzalez assault that we were in trial. So we had 1, 2, 3 residents that were arrested here in the city.
Okay, Chief, thank you.
Sir, thank you.
Any discussion?
Yeah, I noticed we had 31 less traffic stops in June than we did in May, but we had only 1 less citation and we had 26 less warnings, which is good. It looks like, well, I won't comment on it, but we didn't lose anything there. Not that that's the idea.
Price of fuel's up, so they're probably driving less. And how's training? I don't know if this is a part because you mentioned him, but how's training coming along for Maldonado?
It's going well. He's progressing nicely as we want. Right now, we're currently in the 3rd shift phase. And so we're working overnights while on duty here. So I'm initiating that training with him as well. So we're probably looking at maybe maybe mid-August or late August until he's probably completing some work there. Also, that we are still advertising for another patrol officer. So we're still, I believe we have 1 application, but it hasn't been turned in yet, but we're still advertising.
Some of the high points of where he's excelling at.
He's picking up on his, just call for service, how to interact with calls, his report writing, of course, as you look at his report writing. It takes a while for officers to put things together and how to articulate their reports and what's good and, the meat and potatoes of the report, and it's going well.
Excellent.
So,
Okay, well, let's move on to agenda item 10, animal control updates and announcements from Animal Control Advisory Committee Chair Debbie Martinez. Possible discussion or action. You have the floor, Alderwoman Martinez.
Thank you. I had a couple ladies and we found their applications in the file in the computer system.
Yeah.
They were interested in becoming volunteers for our city. Well, one lady backed out, but I had another lady that did come and she's very interested. We've worked with her before. She's also been a person that did rescues for us and found a lot of rescues.
Yeah.
So she's very interested in coming on to be with us here and help us out. She does not live in the city, but she said she doesn't believe that a line prevents her from helping out. She loves animals and she's really looking forward to working with us.
Yeah, the ordinance does not require a volunteer to be a city
Well, I didn't think
resident.
so either, but I mean, I figured, a lot of people, since we don't actually pick up animals where she lives, she don't care. She said
Okay.
she's helping.
She wants to help.
She wants to help either way we go.
Okay, that moves us to agenda item B, discuss and possible action on appointing additional members to the Animal Control Advisory Committee.
So I make a motion that we appoint Rena De Leon to the Animal Control Advisory Committee.
Okay.
Second.
Uh,
Lorraine?
Yes.
Lorena De Leon. And Alderwoman Martinez has made a motion that she be accepted to the Animal Control Advisory Committee, and Alderwoman Alvarado has seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? That carries unanimously. Please tell the lady she's been appointed and invite her to the next meeting.
How many more do you need? Just to keep it in mind.
I'm sorry.
How many more do you need?
Actually, that'll give me 5.
That's already,
Yeah. Now we just need a nice deal.
okay.
Okay, moving to agenda item number 11, Parks and Recreation. Updates and announcements from Park Advisory Committee Chair Rapino with possible discussion and or action.
Yes, I would like to announce that our next Parks Committee meeting will be August the 2nd. And that we do have the grading blade that we ordered, and we also have the roller that we're going to use for the compression of and the grading of the walking trail. I think they used the grader a little bit to put the roller to put the to do something on the exercise area,
Yes, sir.
to put some more crushed granite in today or yesterday. I don't remember. I was down there this morning because we had somebody taking a bath in one of the restrooms. So, I mean, that was something. We probably will be maybe at the next council meeting asking to admit another person onto the Parks Committee, but I haven't gotten her request to be on it. So I will wait until she actually requests to be on the
Okay.
committee. And that's all I have for right now.
All right, then we have,
I was gonna ask a question.
Go ahead.
You finished up with the exercise workout center that you got built down there?
I think there, did you wanted to do something else to it, Charles, didn't you?
yeah, they're actively working on it. The way that the parallel bars
Okay,
were laid out, there was not adequate clearance at the end of the parallel bar for a wheelchair user.
mhm,
So I've had them extend that portion
excellent.
of the yard to allow access to less mobile citizens.
Okay, excellent. My question was this, what's your next project for the park, sir?
Our next project, well, we're talking about expanding the playground area, but
Okay.
it all has to be priced out. And so we're gonna wait a while because we don't have any funds left for.
I understand completely.
Yeah.
I just know people want to know, what are we doing next? What's happening next? So I figured I'd ask you what our next part.
What we're looking for now is upgrading playground equipment to be inclusive.
Mhm,
Our current playground is not handicap friendly. So we're looking at extending with some new equipment and play surfaces
mhm.
for our handicap citizens.
That'd be terrific.
And we really want to keep the old place, refurbish it and put in a new area, but that's gonna cost a lot of money. So, but that's all in the future, but there are
That's a
things that
direction.
we have planned.
Okay, any further discussion? Then let's move on to 11, B, discuss and or possible action on quote receipt purchase of all-in-one computer for the community center. The ladies worked down there for the past year with a antique laptop. And it's wearing out. So, our IT guy recommends that we purchase a Dell all-in-one Optiplex 3280 with total price of $911.25.
This invoice was, it looks like created on June 19th. I don't know. what the current price is. Look at that date.
He said it's a good one, but let's, I would entertain a not to exceed $1,000.
Oh, okay, I'll move that we approve, or I asked that we approve and not to exceed $1,000 to purchase this Dell all-in-one Optiplex 3280 10th generation Intel Core i5.6 core 12 threads. I don't think we need all this. With the Windows 10 Pro upgrade to Windows 11.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to approve the recommendation by our IT guy for the Dell all-in-one Optiplex. May I have a second?
Does this go hand in
I
hand with
second.
that printer that we were supposed to have?
That, we have a printer in place.
Okay,
Okay, but the laptop won't drive.
okay. I'll second that.
Okay. We have a motion from Alderman Rapino to approve the purchase of the Dell computer and a second from Mayor Pro Tem Martinez. All in favor, say aye. Any opposed?
Me,
Okay, sir.
I'll tell you why if you want.
It's not necessary.
I know, but
Okay,
we had a discussion on it, so I won't tell you.
the,
It went straight from you announcing it. He made a motion, it's passing. And unfortunately,
okay, well then let's rescind the vote,
Yeah,
I
sir.
appreciate
Any
it.
discussion before we vote?
yes, sir.
Go ahead.
Because on here, as it's telling us, it's upgradable. It's already telling us that it's out of date. We all know that Windows 11 has been out for how many years now? To buy a computer that's already out of date means that we are already starting in the backwoods of it. The last computer you explained was
Yeah,
out of date relic. I
I,
understand he's trying to save you money, and I agree with that. But I
I
do not agree
can't-
with buying computers that are out of date.
I
Before you
tend to
get 'em out.
disagree with that statement, sir. That 90% of the computers on the market today come with Windows 10. And the important part is that it be upgradable.
But it costs money to upgrade to 11.
No,
My
sir.
company has already been through that. That's
Okay.
been the experience of where I work at.
Yeah,
I
yes,
don't
sir.
want to
You-
see us go through that here.
My opinion is that we're not doing a whole lot of processing. They're sending emails, they're surfing the internet. It's gonna be used for print jobs when people come in and need the community printer. I don't think it needs to be the latest and greatest. I think it just needs to be a relevant. computer.
I5, right now we're at i7s, so it's not that much of a difference, and for the community center, it's not an overload for it.
Yeah.
And in your instance, in your company, that's a company-wide
Yeah, it's a
software
$1 billion
system.
company.
I look at it
that's
as
expensive.
individual, but yes.
Yeah.
And then my next question would be, what are the ports on this system?
The what?
Because, well, an all-in-one printer, the printer doesn't hook up to the other computer. You've got, what is it, 2.0 USB, 3.0 USBs. You got the VGAs, you got the HDMIs. I don't even think they put CD players on them
No.
anymore.
I
But
mean,
my question is, does it have what it's gonna need to marry in and be compatible with
if-
what our city has?
If it doesn't, sir, it requires a $16 Wi-Fi connection. The end of discussion,
That's awesome then.
okay?
But that's just the things I look at and think
Yeah.
about whenever. it
I don't
comes to
think it's
buying.
integrated with the city system. It's just for community use.
Well, even down there though. Because yes,
For what?
unfortunately, hackers that get into wireless. What's our security system gonna be on this?
There's
Do
a
we-
firewall down there.
There is a firewall,
Yes,
okay?
Yeah. Yeah, and that's,
Well, the loosest link is where it breaks, and I don't want to see any of our systems hacked into.
no,
And that's something that I have to hear about a lot where I work at too.
well,
So I wanted to ask these questions before we.
okay, but we have a firewall on, at the building, which is a physical piece of equipment. On the other hand, sir, how confidential do we need the system at the community center to be?
They're not
There's
gonna
no
say that.
confidential files going to be on it. So,
I understand.
okay.
So that,
Any further discussion?
so that computer will be a standalone from the city itself.
Right.
Absolutely.
Excellent.
Yeah, if you're gonna do a motion or redo, you need a motion to reconsider first. To
Okay.
reconsider the vote.
Okay, I'll make a motion again.
Sir, we need
To
to
redo.
make a motion to reconsider.
Okay. I'll make a motion to reconsider the initial motion to
Reconsider the purchase of the computer.
purchase the computer that was recommended by our IT professional.
Okay, I have
For
a motion,
not more than,
sir.
okay,
Stop.
go ahead, okay, go ahead.
I'll second his motion.
I have a motion to reconsider by Alderman Rapino and a second to reconsider by Alderman Coffin-Dapper. Discussion. All in favor of reconsideration, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. I would now entertain a motion to approve the purchase of a computer for the community center.
I'll make your motion to approve the computer for that was given to us by our IT guy, invoice number 2022-0601, 9 Park PC.
That takes-
I washed mine.
Okay, I have a motion from Alderman Coffin-Dapper to approve the purchase of the recommended computer. May I have a second?
Second.
And I have a second from Alderwoman Alvarado. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Okay, that passes unanimously. Oh, agenda item number 12, administration, new business, a discussion or possible use of action on the use of ARPA funds for citizens' request to pay a second CPS bill. Back in January, funds were approved to assist citizens with utility bills, mortgage, and rental payments. But no guidance was given regarding the matter. Looking at other entities, they establish limits, and we have absolutely no guidance. This individual, we paid almost $900 electric bill in March. We have a second request for almost 900 additional, almost 800 more additional dollars. It looks as though no payment has been made since we zeroed their bill in March. I want to know, does council want to offer any guidance, or are we just going to?
As far as for guidance, there is a payment plan that CPS offers.
I'm not discussing CPS.
I'm just,
I'm
That's the
discussing in San Antonio, as a for instance, and we're not San Antonio. Their electrical assistance program is one time who have maxed up $400. we have no,
We don't know
Limits.
that. I see what you're saying.
we have no limits.
Yeah.
So you're
Uh,
saying the same individual that
Yes,
received 9 is
Yeah.
asking for 8,
yes.
and that's because the balance wasn't paid on the 9?
No, it
No,
was
we
paid.
Oh, it was
zeroed it
paid.
in March
Okay,
and,
and they're asking. for an
and they're
additional.
now asking for additional
Is there
funds.
extenuating circumstances? Why it's so high? I mean,
Nothing.
mine is barely 400.
There's nothing paid.
There's
We
been no
don't-
payment
There-
since March.
I think the
When we
city,
zeroed it out.
yeah, I think the guidance should be $1,000, you know,
Max.
if it's, yeah, $1,000 max, and if it's 4 payments, 3 payments, whatever, as long as it's cumulative to $1,000. I
Over
think that
what
would
period of
be-
time? 1 year, 2 years?
I mean, I think over a year, if you're asking for help from the city. I don't know what the city of San Antonio does as a point of reference, but
Well, I'm looking at us.
Shouldn't this come under the program that we discussed at the last meeting where there's a,
and we took the funds out of it.
yeah, where there's, I believe you're on that committee, Grace, and
Yes.
is it you, Mike? that
I
are
think
on it
what
too?
we're going through here is that this was a person that
Yeah,
got
I
from separate
understand
from
that,
what we're
yeah,
doing, right?
yeah.
So
It was
we're
on the
thinking-
first time we did
Yeah.
that, right, yeah,
We have two different
Assistance.
things going.
okay.
We have the mortgage rent, the utility assistance, and then what we did the last time was
And-
senior and handicap livability issues with their homes.
What you're saying, this person doesn't fit into that category.
No, this person, the statement was made that she has not been able to find full-time work.
And with the kids being home and this heat. it's
Oh,
running
summer,
bill up.
yeah.
That's what her email said.
Say it again, ma'am.
Kids being home.
The kids being home and the heat has ran her bill up. The first bill was actually $621.93.
Oh, wow.
That we zeroed out, and then now that it's after July 7th, her current bill is $801.53.
And there hasn't been any other applications for utilities, has there?
No,
I think
not
we should-
since
I
March.
think if the funds are there, we should help.
Live in a mansion?
Okay, I have one opinion that we provide a total assistance to a household of $1,000 a year, and I have a second opinion that let's assist the lady a second time.
My question, though, was something that you stated when you were presenting this. After the city zeroed out the balance, since that time, up to now, there have been no utility payments made.
That we know.
That we know of, and
No, we don't know that for a fact.
That would have to be, that's a key part to me. Because if somebody is not making any effort to pay whatever they can, I am not going to step in and enable them. If somebody is trying, if all that person can pay is $50 a month, but the bills are stacking up, then yes, we step in and assist. Because I could see the person trying on their own too. And that's where I come looking at this from.
What I just heard was that she ran up the $600 bill in the last couple of months because of the heat. Is that what you're saying?
And the kids being home from school.
That's what she has said, yes. Now, this is a bill that ran through, looks like June. It's due early July.
So it's just the June bill or the,
No, there's a carryover from the May bill, but I don't know if that carryover includes April's bill as well. So I don't know if she paid April.
no, I think
just paid-
before we make a decision on this, we need to get more information if we want to do it at all.
Well, some people are choosing food over utilities. That's my thing. You know, and if she has her children at home, we don't know what kind of assistance she's getting for food. I don't think there's a burden on the city for those funds because no one else has applied for them.
but that's true.
But if she's not working and she's
but we
on
don't know that for a
assistance
fact.
already from the city,
Well, we know that we've had no applications since March except for this one. And we, at this point, have adequate funds set aside to make the payment. Okay, but I'm hoping to establish a policy how we're gonna handle this in the future.
Well,
And reference that when an application does come in, like, okay, you've maxed out. That's what we want. Some side stuff.
I think if we do this, we need to talk to the lady and say, look, we can't keep doing this. You need to put certain,
Well, she understands that I felt like I needed to refer this to council.
But if
I think
she's
the
already-
guideline should be,
if she's having trouble finding work, isn't she already on city programs?
We don't.
I'm sorry,
It's
I didn't
possible.
hear you, ma'am.
on state programs,
Yeah, if she's on state programs, if she's not working,
it's possible, but
she probably already has state programs that do help
Or
pay that stuff.
the thing, we're making a
We're
decision
making
without a lot of
decisions, yeah.
information.
Yeah.
here.
a lot of
So
assumptions.
We don't have enough
She is
information.
working. She said that not as, she's not getting as much hours as she
No.
needs. but
I think what
is
she's
working.
making is for her food and her kids.
Yeah, so they must not be giving her hours. She's working and not enough hours to, and then the kids home to keep. the
So
bill
she's
going
not just staying home and
Right.
expecting a
up. Doesn't
handout.
appear so.
She's working.
I think our guideline should be either that $1,000, maybe a little bit more in a 1 year period. And then when we do make a payment, there needs to be like a copay, right? Like when you get a grant, there's gotta be a match, maybe a 10%.
Why don't we do a 1,200? That's 12 months.
I would say 1,200 to be feasible.
Yeah.
That's $100 a month,
Yeah.
Okay,
1,200
But-
max.
1,200 in a year.
if we do this, how are we going to means test this? I mean, everybody could come up here and ask us to pay their electric bill. I mean, I don't want to not do this. Don't get me wrong. I just can see,
People
you
taking
know,
advantage.
Well, let's just see as it is right now.
To-
Not
to
everybody
be-
is saying pay my bill right now.
yeah, but the word may not be out there.
no, it's out
It's
there.
out there.
It's out there.
Okay, yeah.
Uh, we published this far and wide, and to be honest, I have been pleasantly surprised
Right.
with the few numbers. What, we've assisted less than 30 people.
Oh, sure.
Marshall, you had a comment?
I'm not sure.
It's not a Marshall.
It's okay.
Well, 10% get the word.
And all the
Not deny.
council member can put together some type of template of, hours work. Is there government assistance? Are they receiving government assistance? Is there child support involved? Things of that
That's what I'm
nature.
talking about.
Put that, so they can fill that out, so they can have it, so when they submit that, when council has a better understanding of those
The
things.
situation.
Yeah.
Yes.
And is the application consists of what now?
Nothing.
Oh, no.
Nothing.
Oh,
That makes a huge
like I told you, the money,
the money came in, we
the,
put out.
the money was set aside at Mayor Ball's request.
uh-huh.
And no further guidance was issued or
I see.
requested.
When you said
Uh,
application, I thought there was an application.
No.
There's just come.
The
asking for
application
money.
is, and we refer them to CPS and the payment plans but, at some point,
Okay,
CPS says pay up.
sure.
Now, once they get on a payment plan, they're not going to be disconnected.
Right.
But when you get far enough behind, it's like a student loan. You just never catch up.
Sure.
Is she on a payment plan?
Yeah, I think 1,200 with an application. Guidance, as
Okay.
far as what we need to know about them.
Per year.
per
Yeah.
year.
Okay, if you would form that in a motion, ma'am, we could make
Okay.
Can we do a match?
take an action.
Right, can we do a match? Like if you're asking for 600 we're gonna ask you to do 10%, so
But
you're
how
gonna pay
would-
$60.
how would we
That-
collect that?
No, we don't. You pay show us you paid
Well-
$60 and we'll put in 540, right?
I think we're
I
making
would-
it too
I would-
complicated.
I would be
Either we
real
do
honest.
it or we don't.
I will be real honest, there are households where that $60 is not available. Yeah, and
We're looking at a 9% inflation rate. We've all watched gas prices more than double. $60 for some of us. Yeah, that is, am I getting to work or am I getting a bologna sandwich? Which way do I go?
Gotta work to get your bologna sandwich.
I know, but you
Need
know,
gas to go to work.
gas is going up.
So I guess I'll make a motion.
How
that-
much is it now? How much?
800.
$800? I'll move that we pay the $800 for this woman and that's it.
For how long? Tell me.
No, just the 800.
Just the 800 and not again. this
So what
year.
happens when they come back, Tom? If we
No.
don't, if we don't
Well,
put
we're gonna have-
guidelines,
But-
Yeah.
we gotta put guidelines.
That's the
let's-
ceiling.
Let's
okay,
do that first.
hold it, please. Let's deal with one thing. Let's deal with this woman's issue, and then let's deal with a continuing guidance. Okay, I will entertain a motion regarding the current bill.
I just made it.
Okay, Alderman Rupino moves that we pay the outstanding balance on this lady's bill. May I have a second?
I'll second.
Okay, I believe I heard Alderwoman Martinez first. Alderman Rupino made the motion, Alderwoman Martinez seconded. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right, that carries unanimously. And Ms. Yelton, will you take care of that matter? Thank you. All right, now I would entertain a motion considering further guidance for the future.
I make a
Mayor, for
motion.
Ma'am,
For the action, can we bring a policy or a draft policy to council for approval?
Okay.
Actual policies.
So come
are just
back.
not on the
Yeah.
agenda.
Yeah.
That we have a
We can
draft.
drop it
Yeah.
off.
of the-
okay.
I'd like to make a motion, if I may,
Sir,
that right now we suspend any more utility payments on that program until we have a draft and a policy in place. to guide
okay.
it.
I'll second.
But it's not on the agenda,
Hold,
so
hold,
Not on the
Please.
agenda.
we'll just hold off anyways.
okay. But it's not up for vote and, we will suspend until our next meeting. Okay. Mayor Pro Tem Martinez, Alderwoman Alvarado, would you two develop a policy with, guidance from the city attorney?
Okay.
Okay. I'm gonna consider that matter, closed for this evening. And let's turn the page and see what surprise we have next. Excuse me just a minute, my mouth is way too dry to continue on.
So he's not here. So
Agenda item B, we're going to postpone. The gentleman did not join the meeting, so item 12C, discussion or possible action on creating the position of deputy city clerk and procedures for hiring deputy city clerk and matters related to hiring deputy city clerk. Okay. We had advertised for a court clerk. Looking at our recent court dockets, that's not going to be a full-time position. But we need additional assistance here at City Hall. We have way overloaded, just in my opinion, our city clerk. So my thought is, and I have a proposed amendment to the draft ordinance, But my thought is that we hire a second person, to be a deputy city clerk and, assist with the court clerk functions. Currently, Ms. Yelton is filling both positions. I would like the next employee to be able to cover either office if Ms. Yelton wants to take a vacation like normal people do. Currently, we have 0 backup. So I'd like a person cross-trained to both offices.
No, she doesn't get vacations. We didn't
Yeah.
agree to that.
Yes, we did, sir. You may not have agreed to it, but
I get paid holidays,
it's,
that's okay.
it's in her personnel policy, and I expect
We
one
like her around
day,
here too much.
I expect one day she's actually going to take a vacation. So, I think the best way to address additional personnel is that we adopt the position of deputy city clerk, and that person can be cross-trained by Ms. Yelton to fulfill either or both offices.
So
Discussion?
so the deputy city clerk is gonna cover for the court clerk as well?
I will cross-train if I get.
So we're gonna have 3 people.
No.
City clerk,
No.
deputy city clerk, and the court clerk.
No,
You're not
We
gonna
will
Oh,
not
we'll
have-
have 2.
we will not have a full-time court clerk because the current court docket is not supportive of a full-time position.
Okay,
Okay, but the current court docket and the city clerk's job is
More than one.
full-time position for
Okay.
2 people.
because I'm going to budget and I'm seeing, okay, how do we afford 3 people? But if it's not, it's just gonna be the 2 with the deputy taking some budget, like we talked about the other day, right? With Priscilla, some of the budget taken out of the court clerk, then, all right, I can understand that.
Okay,
I can understand that.
I would like to propose an amendment to the draft ordinance. If you'll turn to the back page, here's my suggestion. At section 7, we strike 7 and insert 8. Then we insert a new section 7. Titled Court Clerk. And with a very simple sentence of, as directed by the city clerk, the deputy city clerk shall perform the duties of court clerk, period.
So you're striking 7, well, you're proposing to strike it in its entirety? Or
No,
insert a
ma'am,
new
just
section?
the numeral 7 and insert numeral 8. And insert a section 7 titled Court Clerk as directed by the city clerk. The deputy city clerk shall perform the duties of court clerk.
And then move section severability to 8 and 9
Mhm.
effective date.
And then, yes, we'll have to strike 8 in section 8 and insert a 9. Any discussion,
So are we
improvements?
redoing the draft and then coming back to put it through, or this is redoing it and putting it through now
Now, this is an amendment to the draft ordinance.
to the draft?
And first, somebody has to actually make that motion because I can't.
So you need a motion to approve.
I need a motion to make those amendments, make that
You
amendment
need a
change.
motion to approve
The ordinance first,
No,
No,
To
you
the
need
ordinance.
the
to
changes
make
to the draft.
the changes to the draft ordinance to,
correct.
yes. So I'll make a motion that we approve the changes to the draft ordinance number 2022-207.
So you took the easy route.
Yes.
Okay. I have a motion from Alderman Rapino to
I'll second the
approve
motion.
the recommended amendment to the draft ordinance. Discussion. If not, may I have a second?
I'll second it.
Okay, I have a second by Alderman Coppendapper.
We're about to
All
go
in-
out of rain.
No.
No, Amber Alert.
All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries unanimously. Ms. Ortiz, when would we address a second reading or,
At the July 28th meeting would be the next time council. could
okay, if we want to waive the second reading, how do we address
consider.
that?
Oh, you would waive it before the passage of the ordinance.
Okay, then,
So I'll make it a motion to waive the second reading of ordinance number 2022-207.
okay, I have a motion to waive the second reading of ordinance number 2022-207.
I'll second that.
I have a second from Alderman Coppendapper. Any further discussion? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Okay, that passes unanimously. Further discussion or amendments offered for the draft ordinance?
I'd like to make a motion that we accept the ordinance number 2022.
Okay, sir, I'm gonna stop you. We adopt ordinances. We
That's
don't
correct.
accept them. Thank you.
To adopt the ordinance number 2022-207 as amended.
Thank you. I have a motion to adopt ordinance number 2022-207 as amended. May I have a
I'll
second?
second.
I have a second by Alderman Rapino. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed, that carries unanimously. Moving us right on to agenda item 13.
Make a
Ma'am?
motion.
Since this is passed and it's on the agenda, related items, can we talk about?
Let's-
how we're going to
Let's talk
hire
about
someone?
that. How are we gonna hire this person
Indeed.
Publication,
and how shall we advertise the position? Open for discussion.
Current methods seem to be turning 0 applications for other positions outstanding, whether it be the website, Wilson County News. I think we need to move to more
Do we do San
2022
Antonio?
publications, so maybe an Indeed ad spot to try to generate some actual applications.
Do we put in San Antonio?
no, because of the cost. They're so expensive.
Yeah, but I mean, if we're not getting
Yeah, I
anything,
mean, That's a motion.
we gotta pay to play.
Zip Recruiter?
I actually have 3 applications for court clerk that we have not settled.
Paul.
Oh, okay.
We haven't had interviews yet.
For the deputy city clerk?
Handle
Yeah.
For
those
the court
jobs.
clerk.
For the court clerk.
Oh, okay, okay.
And I would discuss with those applicants the
Yeah.
position being created. But I tend to agree with you. We should be looking at some of the big ZipRecruiter,
Indeed.
Elephant Jungle or whatever,
Jingle.
While we're discussing
monster.com.
We need something on our website too,
We do.
because I just looked at it sitting here. if there is a help wanted section in there, you have to dig through everything to find it. We need a
Okay,
help
we
wanted section
can
on the
put-
front page.
We can put help on it on the front page.
So that way we can list not just this
How
position.
about, let's do it as open positions for employment.
I like your wording.
Okay,
That's very sensible. We'll go with it.
okay, I will talk to the webmaster about moving that to a front page position. How's that?
Absolutely.
Okay, so,
Are you going to talk to these people that applied for the court clerk and see if they'd be interested in the deputy position also?
yes, I have.
Okay.
Before publishing it then?
No, I think, according to our manual, we need to publish,
Indeed. and what else?
map,
I heard Indeed and then there were other.
ZipRecruiter.
Indeed,
Well,
ZipRecruiter.
if we have already. some
Monster.com.
applicants, if we have some applicants already, let's just publish it to the website.
Yeah.
Right?
Well,
But in the future,
And then if it doesn't generate, if those three don't generate an actual employee, then we can bring it back and say, or we can do it now and say, if they don't generate an employee, then we put it on some website.
I would like to also move that we take some of these other positions that we have openings at and now start hitting them on Indeed, ZipRecruiter. Because having the open positions like in our
It's not on-
police, we're talking about hiring people, so. We need to open it up to where we can get these other positions filled as
Yeah.
well.
and ZipRecruiter, we do need to budget some money. A month is like $400.
Okay.
So you have
Well,
to consider that.
let us investigate this issue.
That'd be awesome.
And I would say, let's put the position on the website, our normal social media places for the next 10 days. And if we don't get a response, then let's discuss further advertising at our next meeting.
Okay.
Okay,
Mr. Mayor, can we have somebody find out what the cost would be between now and then if we don't have a response?
absolutely.
You're gonna look into that this time?
I will step up and say, I'll get the numbers.
I'm a hero.
Is that a motion by?
Let's hear a motion how we're gonna advertise this position. I've made my recommendation, but
I'll make a motion that we advertise this position as we regularly would for the next 10 days.
I'll second.
okay. I want more detail, website and social media.
Yes, sir. Website and social media.
Okay.
Coming.
So the motion is we advertise the new position for 10 days on city website and various social media. Do I have a second to the motion?
I seconded it already.
Okay, Alderman Rapino seconds the motion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Anybody else? Ms. Shelton?
No, I thought I could.
Thank you so much. I would entertain a motion on agenda item 13.
To adjourn.
I have a motion to
second that.
adjourn. I have a second. We don't need to discuss it any further. We stand adjourned at 7:45.
What brand of vodka is this?
Okay, okay, everybody stop. Put all your junk down. We're gonna get a pretty picture with our commissioner.
You don't have to give up if you don't want to. I can just stand here. Is that good? Y'all want to be in the picture? No? Yeah, I'll stand in between you guys. Is that good?
Yes, ma'am.
Stay in the picture.
We're-
I don't. Yes, stay.
We're We're two of your biggest supporters in this.
All right, cool, in that case. There you go.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Oh, yeah, you know,
Chief,
get everybody in.
Okay, on three.
Say
One,
Sandy Oaks.
two,
Sandy,
three.
Sandy.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
Can I just, if you want my 2 cents?
Ma'am,
If you want to call my office, and so the county also has a program. I don't know her circumstances, but if you call my office and ask for Patty, she's my outreach director. And so, and then also if you need help with because you guys are gonna work on the application. So that if you want to get a copy of the county's application, just to save you a lot of work,
yeah,
maybe you could just
just
edit.
use your text.
Yeah, so call my office, ask for Patty, and then tell her the situation that I told you, and then she can put you in touch with the staff and the community economic department who help with this program.
Economic department.
Yeah. You're calling my office and asking for Patty, and then she'll put you in touch
It's free.
with the staffer
You
at the
always have to
community
do
economic department
Texas
who
Municipal.
helps with.
Yeah.
Some of the situations, she'll let us know.
that's our,
Yeah, and they'll save you some work.
that's one of
Yeah,
our
they give you
normal
a copy of the
go-tos.
application, a copy of their guidelines,
That's great.
and then if this person needs more help, since you guys did a limit,
but
then maybe you can also refer her to the county.
Yeah,
Yeah, because I mean, y'all have limited funding, y'all should, I mean, y'all can use this stuff for
Yeah.
other stuff.
All
All right, bye.
Trying to help everybody.
Good night.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Bye, thank you.
Turn that up.